Hi everyone, it's Dot, and today I'm going to be making a special treat, a slow-cooked chocolate cake. And I'm going to make it in my slow cooker, which is great, and I'm also testing on a new slow cooker, so awesome. Let's get to it. I'm going to start with just my dry ingredients at the moment. So I'm using hazelnut flour. You can also use almond flour if you prefer. My sweetener, I'm using a golden monk fruit sweetener, unsweetened cocoa powder. Now, a really cool ingredient that I'm adding, and you can, if you don't have this, there's a substitute that you can pick up at your grocery store. I'm using a espresso powder. This adds a nice mocha taste to it, and you can use instead instant coffee crystals if you prefer. You just have to double up the amount of coffee crystals you use, or instant coffee. I'm using baking powder, a little bit of sea salt. The next thing I'm going to do is stir up my ingredients. I want my dry ingredients mixed very well. While you're mixing your dry ingredients, you want to take the opportunity to break up any clumps of your nut flour. It does tend to clump. What you want to do is melt half a cup of butter and about 2 ounces of unsweetened chocolate over the stove. What you're going to do is you're going to do a slow melt. And what that simply means is this is going to be over low heat. You don't want to burn your chocolate. Some recipes will say, oh, cut up your chocolate finely. You don't need to do this here since you're melting it. I guess if you want to melt it in a shorter time period, but to me, I like melting it with the butter. The butter usually takes a little bit longer when you do it this way, but that's perfectly fine. The butter helps buffer the chocolate. I'm turning my heat to low. All you want to do is stir like this occasionally. You don't want the chocolate to burn. My chocolate's melted, which means it's time to start working on the wet ingredients. I have 3 eggs. You just want to beat them. Next, you want to slowly add in some heavy cream as you're mixing it in with your eggs. Next up, vanilla extract. Now let's combine our wet and dry ingredients. Now, as you're mixing this, you want to try to get it smooth, but you're never going to get out all the clumps, so don't fret about that. My chocolate's cooled down enough. It can be warm, but not hot, terribly hot. So now I can go ahead and pour it in. And in case you're wondering why there's no glove over here and a glove over here, this is the hand that has a cut on it. So I just want to make sure I protect it and also make sure nothing icky gets in the cake. Who wants that? So just pour in the chocolate and butter. You want to combine everything really well. You want to incorporate the melted chocolate and butter into your batter. My batter's all mixed, ready to go, but before I put it in my crock pot, I'm going to add something a little extra. This is the point, if you want to, you can add in nuts, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is I'm adding in a cup of raspberries, nice fresh raspberries. And all I'm going to do is gently fold them into the batter. I don't want them breaking apart completely. They're going to break up a little bit, but not by much. I've already oiled the inside of my slow cooker. All I have left now is to add the batter, which we're going to do now. Now what you want to do is spread your batter around. You want it an even layer. So you want to cover the bottom of your slow cooker. A neat little trick you want to do to make sure your cake stays dry while it's cooking, and certainly when you take off your lid, is you want to take paper towels, just put them across the top, put your lid on, and this way you keep all the condensation that collects on top of your slow cooker off of your cake. I'm going to cook the cake for 3 hours on low heat. I decided to let my cake cool for a couple of hours, but it looks great. It definitely smells great. Now, if you've never made a cake in your slow cooker before, the obvious question is, how do you get it out? You just use a scooper and you literally just scoop out the pieces you want, and that's the easiest way of doing it. I'm going to use my trusty spatula, and this makes 10 servings, just so you know. So I'm just going to carve out a small little piece for myself right now, just to give you an idea. And I am going to reach in my hands, but that gives you an idea of what it looks like. It's actually, again, my husband and I sort of debate this. His view is it's a brownie. I'm like, no, it's cake, but it does have brownie-like texture. Now, before I sample it, I just whipped up a little bit of whipped cream, so I'm going to add that to there, and I'll have the recipe for the whipped cream below. And, of course, since it's a raspberry chocolate cake, why not add a raspberry to it? And let's try it. Yes, I made it, but it is so awesome. I love having, you have that really nice dark chocolate taste to it, and then the raspberries just sort of come out of the blue, and they go so well together. It tastes wonderful. It's really moist. It's pretty dense, so you don't necessarily need a really big piece either, but you definitely have that nice chocolatey mouthfeel to it, or taste to it, and it has the mouthfeel of a cake, even though it's made with nut flour. So definitely give this a try. It's really simple to make, and it's a great treat. Just keep in mind, you don't want to go overboard because there are carbs involved with this. I'll have the carb count below with the recipe. Don't think you can have, oh, 2 pieces and get away with it. You can't, because that just adds up. So with that, I hope you enjoy the video. You hit like, subscribe, share with your friends, and until next time, I'll see ya.